Let me take this honor and invite, it gives me immense pleasure to introduce Shri Hulas Pathak, CEO, Incubator, Indira Gandhi Krishi Vishwavidyalaya, for delivering the keynote. Can we give him a big round of applause and welcome him, please?
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. And thank you, Suman, for pronouncing the name of my university correctly this time. And you have given me a difficult task, I would say, to grab the attention of all our audience in this post-lunch session, especially after the meal. So I'll try to do my best to share our thoughts on what we do as an agribusiness incubator, and probably leave a lot of room for thought for young entrepreneurs, budding entrepreneurs who have a lot of innovation in their minds and their actions. So first of all, before I begin my thoughts on the topic I'll be sharing with you on the perspective of an incubator, particularly an agribusiness incubator, and how agribusiness is the next big thing as far as innovation in startup entrepreneurship in this country is concerned. So I want to thank ICRA, the organizers, and Mr. Rajkumar Sharma and his team for having me and my team here and letting us have this opportunity to share our thoughts on this particular topic. So I am Dr. Hulas Pathak, Head and CEO of Agribusiness Incubation Center at Indira Gandhi Agricultural University, which is in Raipur, Chhattisgarh. So as you would know that agribusiness incubation, or incubation for that matter, is of a relatively new experience for agricultural universities in particular across the country. So we have taken up this challenging task of nurturing young minds and entrepreneurship in agriculture and allied sector to create new businesses and possibly unlock the great potential that exists in agriculture and the allied sector. So I'll be sharing our early experiences. We are very new to this business of incubation, and that too in the field of agriculture. So I'll be sharing some of our perspectives and early experiences, how we have nurtured these young startups in agriculture, and maybe call upon all the tech startups here to join hands to take this great opportunity that exists in Indian agriculture in the way forward. So I'll be talking about innovation and entrepreneurship and how disruptions is something that is required badly in the field of agriculture, particularly Indian agriculture, as I said, to unleash the great potential that exists in creating new businesses and, more importantly, opportunities that will create a win-win situation across all the stakeholder value chain in the system. So if you see the intricacies of Indian agriculture, I'm not too sure if how many of you are well versed with it, but Indian agriculture is quite famous, or shall I say ill famous, for some of the inherent intricacies that it is composed of, wherein most of the land holding belongs to a small group of people and large number of people depend on very fragmented land holding size. So that makes technological application and scaling up the businesses very difficult and complicated. So how do we reconcile to this hard reality on the ground and at the same time create business opportunities in this field, therefore unlocking the entrepreneurship that exists in agriculture and the allied sector? So if you see the food grain scenario, the production scenario is also going to be very challenging in the times to come. Already India is about 300 million tons producing nation as of now, but in the next 10 years or so, we are going to have a demand of more than 350 million tons of food grains. So where is this excess demand is going to come from, especially as there is an increasing lack of intervention, technological intervention in agriculture, and as you know that the available land for cultivation of crops and managing the crop sector is diminishing by the day, by the minute I would say. So how do we manage the scenario wherein the primary resource for cultivation is diminishing and at the same time demands for excessive production is increasing? So that is where technological intervention in the form of the business ideas or the innovative ideas that people like you can play a big part in this, and at the same time create a lot of value across the stakeholder in the system. So if you see, there is a problem of supply chain management, and this was quite evident during the pandemic time, and it was only in the agriculture sector because of the relaxation given by the government, because this is the primary sector on which the main, I would say, the spine of the Indian economy depends on. So even after ensuring that supply chain management, we had quite a few disruptions, and how do we address the supply chain issues in agriculture is also one of the challenging area where disruptive innovation can play a big part. So if there is a problem of mapping the resources to the places where it is required, that's also one such area where disruptive innovations can play a big part. So as you know that India is a major agricultural nation in the world, and if you name a commodity, it will figure in the top 10, if not in the top 5 or 3. But if you look at the efficiency in terms of productivity and resource use, you would see that Indian agriculture does not figure in the top 10. So what is the reason for this? The reason is there is a lack of technological application, as I was telling you. So increasingly there is a need for involving more and more technology into agricultural to create more kinds of businesses in the allied sector and create business opportunities coupled with the entrepreneurship chances that do exist. And in spite of some of the strengths of Indian agriculture in terms of the quantum of arable land that is available for crop production, the kind of agroecology ecosystem that we have, as also the low rates of resource use charges for agriculture production, we continue to languish, as I said, in terms of productivity. So how do we reconcile this? The answer lies in technological innovation in agriculture. So these challenges, as you see, I have just shared you the projection in terms of increasing demand that is going to be there in the next 10, 20 years from now across agriculture and allied sector for the livestock production, the cereal crop production, horticulture production, even forestry production, and so on. So this again has to be kept in mind while discussing about the opportunities for our tech startups in terms of coming out with innovation. So what could be the potential focus areas? So if you look at, I was talking about the market linkage of farm inputs. Many a time, you would have come across that at the time at which the inputs are available to the farmers, it is no longer useful for the farmers to apply the input. So the market connect is inadequately addressed in terms of the supply as well as the demand part. Then biotechnology offers a great opportunity in terms of bringing cutting-edge technologies to create new innovative and biotech products. Yesterday one biotech startup has already got an award for this, so that's a good acknowledgement in this area. Farming as a service is coming up. Then quality management and traceability. I have one of my startups, Prominent Technologies, again awarded last night for using blockchain technology for traceability. So that is going to be an important issue because that concerns Indian agricultural exports. And you would have come across several instances where Indian agricultural exports got hindered in the event of traceability and quality management issues. Then supply chain management, financial services, fintech companies are the order of the day, and there is ample scope for people to work on this. Then farm structure, mechanization and automation, there are people coming out with robots and IoT health devices for improving the mechanization. So there are a lot of government effort being done. Yesterday you heard my colleague Sanjay ji talking about the opportunities that exist in the state of Chhattisgarh, as far as providing government support for a startup ecosystem is concerned. So likewise, there are many such schemes, which are there to support the enabling environment in the startup ecosystem. And, these are some of them which are individually great, I would say, programs that have a great impact on supporting the innovation in agriculture and allied sector. Allied sector innovation is concerned. These are specific, programs that support agri startups. I would like your attention on this, and I'll be talking in some, minutes about the RKVY Raftar scheme, which supports incubators like us, and what are the essential components and other perspectives within that program. So there is a farm sector promotion fund, the agriculture infrastructure fund is about lakhs of crores of rupees. We support the startups. And then there is a Stand Up India or the Startup India program as well. So if you look at other funding avenues for agri startups or edtech startups, there are from the DBT, there are people from the DST in the inaugural program. They talked about the TDB people who are here. They talked about the fund support programs from that platform to support the startups and innovators. Then there is a dedicated women entrepreneurship program under the Niti Aayog. Then there is agro processing cluster scheme, venture capital assistance scheme. A lot of investors have been talking about the modalities for fundraising in this program. Now just a little bit about the RKV Raftar Agribusiness Incubator, because we at Indira Gandhi Agricultural University are operating this RKV Raftar Agribusiness Incubator. In short, we call it IGKV RABI. So we are like one of the 24 such RABIs in the country, spanned throughout the length and the breadth of country. The primary objective is to encourage innovation and entrepreneurship in agriculture and allied sector. As I said in my opening remarks, that there is a tremendous potential for technological intervention in agriculture and allied sector to address both ends of the spectrum, whether at the primary producer level or at the end of the supply chain, that is the consumer's end. So with this primary objective, even addressing the post-harvest management issues. So there are, this is a very new program from the Government of India, specifically under the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, to support agribusiness incubators in institutes, universities, IITs and IIMs and so on. So see, the focus areas under this particular program is targeting at creating market linkage and creating digital architecture where tech startups can come in with their strengths, and of course better access to inputs along with agri fintech, farming as a service. I have talked about this. So what is the program like in terms of harnessing the innovation that will benefit rural India at large? So there is a specifically two kinds of program: the pre-seed stage program and the seed stage program for the ideation to developing a prototype or a POC, and the seed stage program from taking the prototype to the commercialization or the acceleration stage. So this is precisely what we are running. If you look at different sectors that are there, in terms of the pan-India agri startup across the focus sectors, then you would see the post-harvest management, supply chain and farm mechanization are the ones that are attracting the maximum number of innovations as far as startups are concerned. So what we are doing at Indira Gandhi Krishi Vishwavidyalaya, Raipur, under this program, for those of you who are less informed about IGKV, we are one of the premier agricultural institutes in the country. Possibly the largest university, agricultural university in terms of the manpower generation, close to 10,000 enrollment of students. And obviously, as you would appreciate, that everybody is not going to get a job. And entrepreneurship is the way forward. So we have taken it upon ourselves to create an environment where students are more, I would say, encouraged to start entrepreneurship as a career through programs under the RKV Raftar scheme. So as a typical agricultural university, we have the mandate to teach, research and carry out limited transfer of technology at the level of the farmers. So university, as I said, is one of the better universities in the country. And at RKV by Raftar or Rabi, as I was telling you, we are supported by the Ministry of Agriculture, Government of India. And we do offer, technical and business mentoring along with the co-working space to all our aspiring entrepreneurs. And in a 6,000 square foot incubation co-working space facility, that is one of the highest in the country under this particular program. And therefore, the vision is to, how to foster agri-innovation and entrepreneurship in order to transform Indian agriculture, because this is where the potential has not been harnessed so far. And as I said, this is going to be the next big thing in Indian economy if all the value in agriculture and allied sector is unlocked through entrepreneurship. So we want to be the best agribusiness incubation hub in our part of the country. And in order to create that agri-startup ecosystem, we want to transform the job seekers into job creators. These are some of the focus areas for us as incubators, including crop management, bioagents and fertilizers, supply chain, artificial intelligence and IoT. Processing, that's a big issue these days because lots of surpluses are generated, but hardly about 7 to 10% gets processed. And every year it is estimated close to 65,000 crores worth of rupees gets wasted in the absence of proper post-harvest management. So that is one such big area. Then farm retailing, one of our startup is here. Organic farming and agriculture engineering and farm mechanization. But we do not limit ourselves to these sectors alone. Of course, wherever we feel the need to support the startup in terms of other areas, we do so by leveraging our networks in terms of partnerships and associations. So we are carrying out these two unique programs for the startups. At the ideation stage, we have branded it as Abhinav, and we have got the necessary IP protection for it from the Government of India, which is a pre-seed stage program, and there is a support up to 5 lakh rupees in this program. As I said, we offer them access to mentorship, both technical as well as business, other than access to our modern research laboratories. Likewise, for the seed stage program, there is a funding or grantee rate support of up to 25 lakh rupees. Other than the technical and business support, as I was telling you, we offer under this important program. Then if you look at what we are doing in terms of generating and catalyzing the agri startup ecosystem in the country at the level of our state and the region, because this is a national program and the startups are drawn from all over India. So we have been successful in incubating about 134 startups, almost specifically agri startups, and a grant of rupees 5.79 crores has already been recommended to these startups in both the programs. So this is among the highest in the country under the program. And through this activity, we have been able to create more than 500 innovative products in the agriculture domain. More than 40 intellectual property rights have been filed, and some of our other achievements through this startup ecosystem has been mentioned here. And directly we are impacting thousands of farmers through this program. And of course, as I said, employment generation is a direct consequence of this particular scheme. So if you look at the activities that we have carried out in terms of these 3 years of our operation as agribusiness incubator, in terms of the mentorship and the virtual incubation programs that we have conducted. So we offer, as I said, access to all our networks in terms of our laboratory and other technical facilities. Then access to our information resources, and of course fund support, business support and market linkages, one of the reasons why we are here, and technology commercializations and validation also. We are also offering our technologies developed in the university to our startups going forward in the program. So some of the activities that we have carried out, and these are some of the startups that we have successfully incubated with us and who are doing very, very well at this stage. And as I'm talking to you just now, I got news in my message box that one of our startups has just raised 1.5 million just a couple of minutes ago. So we're trying to strengthen the startup ecosystem through this activity. So some of the activities we are doing, Fasal Bazaar and some of the success stories, they are here. And what do? They address the supply chain issues in the agriculture value chain. Feedco is another such. Then one of our startups is into nano fertilizers, and they've got 3-4 patents out of this. Imagine, instead of applying a bag full of urea, you just have to apply a bottle of 200 ml of nano fertilizers. So that is the kind of innovation potential that exists in agriculture to dramatically transform it into creating new businesses opportunities. Some of the other startups that we have, Rayush, can you imagine? They are using the roots of the vetiver, khas. Khas is a aromatic plant, and they're using the roots of this vetiver to create curtains and fabric. So imagine everywhere, if you had the curtains in this room, it would all be so smelling so good. So they are doing very well. This is a small team that I have with me, and some of the media coverage nationally that we have throughout the country, and we have been well decorated with the awards and distinctions through our startups and programs. So thank you very much. And once again, I want to thank ICRA and its chairman, Mr. Rajkumar Sharma, for letting us have this opportunity to address and share our thoughts. So thank you all very much. But one issue I will raise for the tech startups here. I am really, very happy to see the kind of innovations. I went around, some of these stalls yesterday, and some of the innovations that they are doing is, mind-blowing. But the part is, when they come to agriculture with these applications, my request is keep a domain expert from agriculture into your team so that agriculture is well understood while you try to apply your innovation and technology in that field. I have this innovator who has built a robot to help us out with the crop management practices. But the poor fellow, he is an IITian, so he does not know what is the plant-to-plant distance and the row-to-row distance for different crops needs. So you need to have an expert from agriculture as one of your team members going forward. Secondly, I would call upon all you tech startups from this platform to see this great opportunity that exists in agriculture, right from the time of field preparation to the ultimate post-harvest and management, in between all the inter-management and cultural activities. So there is an opportunity, ample opportunity that exists in terms of technological innovation and intervention at each of these stages, and the rewards are going to be immense, mind-boggling. So we are waiting for agriculture to become a $1 trillion economy in this country, and with your contribution and with programs like this, I am sure those days are not too far. So once again, thank you all very much. Thank you.